elements to a successful conflict management. Then we draw a conclusion. I think I've mentioned a lot of things here. For some of them, I'm just going to run through. We are going to focus more on how we are going to deal with the challenge, because some of these things you already know. Definition of words. Do I need to go into definition? We all know what conflict is. Let me just rush through. Conflict is a situation in which people disagree strongly or are involved in serious argument. That is conflict. Resolution, the act of resolving or settling a problem, argument, etc. Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. Management is from the verb manage, which means to deal with problem or to be able to solve your problem, deal with difficult situations. The above definitions of the word manage is synonymous to the word resolve. You want to manage, you want to resolve the problem you are facing in your home. Okay? Now, what is the home? We all know what home means. It can be your house, it can be the family, as the dictionary defines it. Whichever one you take is okay. The house, okay, house or flat that you live in, especially with your family. If you want to go with that one, then the house that you live in may not be settled, if you look at it from that perspective. If you look at it from the family, used to refer to a family living together. The family is not settled. You need to manage it. Let's swing into our lesson. Some common signs of conflict in the home. We want to start from there. When you talk about conflict, you must see some signs. You must see some signs. And these are things that a lot of people overlook. Sometimes when some people come to me, they are having problems. I focus on the signs. From the signs, I can tell what the problem is. Even the person who is having the problem may not know the problem. Yes, a lot of people don't know their problem. Some have come and say, the marriage don't end. I don't feel do again. I don't tire. A preacher called me and said he wants to divorce his wife. A preacher of a congregation. I just laughed. I said, brother, just calm down. Take it easy. And I went to see them. I told him, brother, I not met the wife. I said, brother, you are the problem. But you just need to accept it. Denial. When you deny, that's where you are not able to solve the problem. You get it. There are signs that I saw. Now, what are these signs you see? Even you, when you see the signs, you will know. I think some few months back, myself and my wife, we went for a wedding, and a cousin of mine, we saw him coming on his own. The wife came differently. That was the first sign that there's a problem. It may not be a problem. It could be something else. But as they got there, I noticed there was no greeting, no interaction between him and the wife. It was obvious. The wife sat down. I was trying to reserve a seat for my cousin. The wife put another person on that seat. Is there a problem or not? There are signs you see. You know there's problem. And when it was time for merriment, the husband was serving us drinks. And he gave my wife extra. It's a family thing. Say, take this one for the children. And my wife was like, you didn't give your wife anything now. What of your children? We notice some reactions. These are signs. Couples not listening or talking to each other is a sign, right? Giving the silent treatment is a sign. Arguments ending without resolution is a sign. Shouting, swearing, bickering, and all that is a sign. Physical fighting is a sign. These are things you see that there's a problem. There's something underneath. Undermining each other. Doesn't care how the husband feels or how the wife feels. Rebellion from the children or the wife. Children can be rebellious. When we say rebellion, it doesn't actually mean, using quarrelsome voice. It doesn't mean fighting. The father can say, do something, he will not do. You get it. The wife also. The wife refusing to cook. We just read an incident in the papers where the wife did not cook. What happened to that wife? Can you remember? She was killed. There are many things underneath. Wife does not support the husband financially. there's a problem. Maybe she say the wife, the husband, they spend the money for girlfriend. But you cannot know until you interview them. Disrespect to each other, couples avoiding each other, family members attending different congregations. I've seen that. But we managed to resolve that. A couple, the wife will go to this congregation, the children will go to that congregation, the father will go to this congregation. It's a sign that there's a problem. They may not see it, but if you look closely, you will know. And many more signs. The list is not exhaustive yet. Now, these signs may indicate actual conflict in the home. Why conflicts indicate challenges in the home? Some of these challenges are briefly discussed below. We are going to look at the challenges that you have. The signs you see, they are not the problem. There's something that triggers those signs, the reaction. Let's look at them quickly. Challenges in the home. Financial challenge. There's nobody that does not understand this one. It's common now. It's common to everybody in Nigeria. Everybody is facing it. It's even all over the world. All right? This is an experience. This is experience in almost every home. This is a situation where couples are unable to pay for most of their needs. There are many factors responsible for this. Some of these factors include low income from the onset of the marriage. The low income may be from the onset of the marriage. Loss of job by any of the partners. One person may lose a job, and that becomes a problem. All the sweetness of the marriage is taken away. It shouldn't be that way. The national economic recession. Who doesn't know that one? That's what we are facing now. Economic recession. Everything is very expensive. Ororo, where would they buy how much? 4 liters. You go buy them. Before, maybe you buy them like 3,000. Now they are talking of about 25,000. Is it not so? Depending on the brand that you buy. Those days, adverts everywhere. You should eat cholesterol-free oil. Have you not been so? But today, people won't even shop the cholesterol. Say, wait till they talk. Give me the cholesterol, I go chop up. That is where we are now. Many years ago, there are some things where I no go chop. We will buy croaker. I think you should be croaker. Carton, I go buy and put for free. I dey do better work where they pay me better salary that time. We go buy carton of croaker, carton of chicken, turkey, we put them for free. We'll be eating and enjoying ourselves. They get one fish. They call am kpanla. Ejakika, you know him, call like this. I told my wife, I said I must not see that fish in the house. So that fish is smell. I said the fish is smell, that kind of fish. People they eat this thing. But when I lost my job in 2015, things became difficult. My wife can't begin to cook that fish. That time the fish no smell again. No. I go chop and one lick like that. I said more day, make you give me more. Do you see that? Financial challenges can either change you in a positive manner or a negative way. You get it. It has ruined a lot of homes. That is the problem. This national economic recession has affected a lot of families. Then, poor financial management ability. Some of us don't know how to manage our resources. What you should spend your money on is not what you are spending your money on. It will affect your family. At the end of the day, you are fighting each other, but that is not the problem. The problem is that you are not managing the resources well. Effects of financial challenge. There are more things, but I just cut them short. Effects of financial challenges. What does it cause? Disrespect from the wife to the man. I interviewed in one of my programs. I interviewed the director of Bear Valley, and then he was talking about an experience that he had. A brother who was doing very well. When he's coming back, he will buy fresh fish The wife will see him. Oh, my honey, welcome. The children will run and come and hug their father. Welcome back. As soon as the man lost the job, the man will come. Nobody will come and welcome him. He will call the wife. They will not answer. He will call the first child. They will not answer. Call the second child. Everything has changed. But the sad story is that the man ended up committing suicide. Depression setting. Yes. That is how far we can go. Yes. Disrespect from the man to the wife as well. Disrespect from the children to the parents. Disrespect on the man or the woman. Limits to worship attendance. What am I saying? Some of the children will not come to church again. Say, wait, God, they now they suffer like this. Now they will. Sometimes the husband said, if the dedicated type will call the wife, he will drag in feet. Because money no dey again. So a lot of things happen. Exposure of the children to negative external influence. The children can go into drugs, prostitution, and things like that. So many things will go wrong. The list is endless. You know that. There are so many things that happen. The other one, number 2, childlessness. This is one of the problems that we see. When the couples don't have children, what happens? What happens? A lot of things will go wrong. This is when the couples have not been able to have children after several years of marriage. Some couples that are faced with this kind of challenge have been able to continue to live with each other peacefully, despite the situation. The majority have not been able to manage this well. Let's look at the effect. In Africa, we have taken a wrong approach to dealing with this problem. The man puts pressure on the woman. Most of the time, it's the woman's fault. True or false? Most of the time, it's the woman's fault. They blame the woman. Yes, the family of the husband puts pressure on the woman. The family of the husband may frustrate the woman by referring to her as a man. Now, man, you marry you. They make effort to give him another wife. Abi, this one where you go marry man, so we will give you better wife. This is not man. You know, see her body, see how she dey shine. See meat. Better wife. Friends will give ungodly advice. The couples themselves may seek solution through diabolic means. All these are things that happen that I've seen beyond this when there's childlessness. Let's move on. I just want you to, I know you know these things, but for you, about the story of, is it Osinachi? What? No, not Osinachi. The lawyer, there's one lawyer that ran after the husband because of infidelity. At the end of the day, what happened to her? She had an accident and died. Now, infidelity problem. They monitor the husband where they go get accident, die. At the end of the day, the man himself died. Yes. Infidelity has destroyed a lot of marriages. Either the husband or the wife could be accused of infidelity. It can be any way. We tried to resolve a problem recently in one of the congregations. It was the woman who was accused of infidelity. So, but something is wrong somewhere. A lot of things lead to this. Many things. It can be sexual dissatisfaction. It can also be a case of the woman not being able to give birth to children on time. So they want to try some means to cover that back, to close that gap. Infidelity, effects, lots of obvious lies. When there's infidelity, where are you coming from? We had meeting. We closed by 11 o'clock. That's why I couldn't come home on time. There will be lies. The income is shared by third party. Abi, girlfriend go collect. Some of the women where they do, they get a young boy where they take care of them. They give them money. They don't share the money where they're supposed to spend for her. There's no affection anymore. We had a couple within our neighborhood. The woman was telling me that I think it's almost 5 years or thereabout. She has not had anything to do with the man because she doesn't trust the man anymore. Whether or not juju they use for the man, I don't know. To the point that he goes about telling everybody. He say, that girl for that place. I rent house for her. I buy television for her. I buy share for her. He can't go to follow another man. You can imagine the boldness. That's why I say whether or not be clear eye, because it's not normal for somebody to be saying that kind of thing. You are telling people. Yes. There's denial of sex. In some cases, one of the spouse may have children with third party. Abi, I had a friend who's is late now. It was when they were to do the burial. Now we begin to see children, they come from left and right. Those are the things. Domestic violence. What is domestic violence? According to the United Nations, domestic violence, also called domestic abuse or intimate partner abuse, can be defined as a pattern of behavior in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. What you need to understand here is that domestic violence is about gaining control. The beating, the shouting, the quarreling, he wants to tell you I'm in charge. That's what United Nations is telling us here. The abuse is an action or a threat that may influence another person physically, in terms of punching, beating, kicking, and all that. Sexually, say married man say they rape his wife. Have you heard about it? They do that. Then emotional, the woman is traumatized. Nobody only man that they accuse for domestic violence, even woman. Sometimes the woman feels violent, the man is traumatized. Economically, give me the money. To go and take drugs, to go and drink, and do all sorts of things, or maybe go spend in another woman. Then psychological. So this is what domestic violence does. Again, according to the United Nations, domestic violence includes any behavior that frightens, intimidates, terrorizes, manipulates, hurts, humiliates, blames, injures, or wounds someone. I think we get that. Number 5, health challenges. This is one of the problems that they can have in the home that can affect the members of that family. The health challenges can be from either the partner or their children. This can be as a result of ignorance or negligence on the part of the couple. In some cases, they come with age or unexpectedly. Some of these common health conditions include sickle cell anemia. That's from the child, husband and wife. I think I did a video with Dr. Okon where we talked about some of all these things. They open their eye. Husband and wife, they say, make they do test. They don't do test. This one na AS, this one na AS. They come marry each other. After, come born sickle cell pikin. What will happen? Because in them pain all the time. You have diabetes, you have heart conditions, you have stroke, HIV/AIDS, you have blindness, loss of limbs or body parts from accident, change in body weight and shape. Should this one be a problem? Change in body weight. Say, why you come fat like this? Now you dey give am belle wey the born pikin. The born pikin finish, come add it. Say, why you come fat like this? Many of these things that I mentioned here should not be a problem. That's why I said it depends on how you manage it. That is it. We are just listing these things for us to know that these are some of the things that cause the problem. The people did not handle them well. It's not as if those things should be problem in themselves. They shouldn't be problem. But the way we handle it, that's why they become problem. Yes. Terminal illness, cancer, kidney failure, liver failure, and many others that you know. Blindness. There's somebody in my community now, the wife don't live on because, don't say don't blind self. It's probably having maybe cataract or glaucoma or something. Not saying well. The wife don't live and go take it. So effects of health challenges. When these challenges come, it drains the finances of the couple significantly. It occupies a substantial amount of the time of the healthy partner. Somebody has to be carrying the man, most likely the wife, to the hospital all the time. And then she don't tire. And then she begins to put up attitude. Maybe the other way around. It may put the health of the healthy partner at risk. It can make the healthy partner to feel embarrassed. Some abandon their sick partner. So these are some of the things that happen. Unpleasant behavior of the children. Sorry, I'm rushing it because I want us to get to the main matter. Unpleasant behavior of the children. Nobody likes bad pikin, but how you bring them up, now be the matter. Some of these behavior includes regular stealing, regular fighting, sexual corruption, smoking, taking strange substances. These are some of the things that we see in our children, and we don't want them. We are not happy about them. But it starts somehow, somewhere, but we did not keep it in check. Lack of interest in education. Some say they don't want to go to school. They are not happy. Lack of interest to work. Some don't want to work. Lack of interest in church activities. A lot of parents practically have to force their children to go to worship. Disobedience to parents. So all these are things, and many more that you find that children do that parents are not happy. Nobody wants an irresponsible child. In most cases, the husband will blame the wife for not teaching the children right. Is this common? When picking good, na papa get up. When picking bad, na mama get up. You see that? But that is not what the Bible says. Some believe that it is the sole responsibility of the women to bring up their children. This is contrary to the word of God. Both parents have the responsibility to care for and guide their children. Colossians chapter 3, verse 20. Children, obey your parents in the law, for this is well pleasing to the Lord. Obey who? Your parents. Did he say obey your mother? Obey your parents. Also, Apostle Paul addresses the fathers on the matter. Ephesians 6:4. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath. Ye fathers, provoke not. Who is he talking to? Fathers. And then look at B. He said, but bringing them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Who is he talking to? But we must marry those passages together. Both parents are responsible for the upbringing of the children. If you don't want unpleasant behavior, work together. When your husband is talking to the child, honey, take it easy now. This one too much now. They spoil the pikin. You have to support. If you want to talk to your husband, talk to him behind. Say, but not in the presence of the child. Lack of trust. In my experience, I have discovered that the element of trust in marriage is a very simple matter that has destroyed a lot of marriages, mostly when insecurity is involved. That trust, as a small so, don't destroy plenty marriages, but a simple matter. Different inclinations lead to distrust. A lot of women start off their marriages with the mindset that all men are cheats. There are some women like that. This could be from past experience. Maybe because of the experience they've had in the past. Say, all men are the same, Jerry. My wife used to make a comment. From my own experience, when I was young, I had some girlfriends. Then, when we are going on the road, you will look my eye whether they look other women. So one day I asked my wife, I said, you know, even they look my eye, I said, whether they look on me. He said, what do you concern? If you want to look. If you want to look. Now it's happy. Say you cannot control a man or what. That is the reality. But some women will hold on to it tight and they will fight and fight. Some men also say that women can not be trusted. A man once told me that any woman that works in the government ministry cannot be trusted. That's his own experience. Say, people where they work for government agency, they are very loose. That's his experience. But you cannot use one case or your own case to generalize. In other cases, the men or women have done things in the past that has made it difficult for their partners to trust them. When the woman don't catch you once, catch you the second time, it will be difficult to trust you. Yes. Some men have married very beautiful women and do not want other men to come close to their wives. I see this thing common for Igbo men. Don't know vessel. They like to marry woman wear yellow, wear fine, wear. But they don't want to make it work. They like go school, open shop for you. Because they fear say another man will carry you. You get it. You have so many cases. Just to mention a few. Sexual dissatisfaction. What is sexual dissatisfaction? Simply put, sexual dissatisfaction is a situation where the sexual hunger of a spouse is not met by his or her partner. This is a big problem. Big problem. because it's what is affecting a lot of marriages. I've seen a lot of brothers complain that they have no relations with their wives 3 months, 6 months. What is that? It's against the Bible. It's against the scripture. It's against the covenant of marriage. But it's a big problem, even in the church. According to Dr. Paul David Trick, he says many Christian marriages are in the midst of some sexual struggle or dysfunction. Many husbands and wives in the church do not experience the beautiful, intimate sexual oneness that God designed. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2 and 3. He said to avoid fornication. The man should have a wife. The wife should have a husband. So why are you denying yourself? And it goes down in verse 5 to say that you should not defraud one another. If you are doing that, it's a sin. It's contrary to the word of God and many other passages. This is a very serious problem. However, a lot of couples are afraid to discuss the matter. The problem is there, but this is one sensitive area that people don't like to discuss. Most of the time, I see it, I have to force it out of the people. What is the problem? Before they start opening up. Say, do you know that for the past 5 years, my husband has not touched me? It is a heavy matter to discuss. There's shame, there's pride, there's rejection. You see some of the men. Come bring me, come here, to come embarrass me. He doesn't want to discuss it. There are limited channels to discuss it in Nigeria. You know, in the developed world, they have counselors and things like that. And it's common. But here in Nigeria, it's not a common thing. Perhaps a very few of them. No counselors, no elders in the church. To come to the church now, how many congregations? It's one of the, when I did my diploma, one of the assignments they gave me to write was, why are there no elders in the churches of Christ in Nigeria? Because so many of them they don't have. And these are the people who are to play the function of counseling in this area. You have young preachers. Baba and Mama, we don't reach 60. They will come look, say this young preacher will be like 20-something or 30-something. Now we come go to tell this kind of thing. You know, it's uncomfortable. This is part of the problem. The options are perceived to be unsuitable because young preacher in most, there are young preachers in most congregations. Then fear of exposure. Lack of intimacy, that's the last one. A lot of couples are not close, and because they are not close, they are having problems. This intimacy, the man needs to play a lot of role here. You need to be romantic. Many of us don't know the meaning of romance. You are rigid. You have to loosen up, smile, play, sing. Your wife should be your friend. Your children should be your friend. Play with them. They should miss you when you are not around. You are not close to your wife. You are not close to your children. Okay. Let's move on to, I think that's the last one. Let's just move on. Nature of problems in the home. What? Time. Nature of problems in the home. They are unpleasant. The problems are unpleasant. They don't make you happy. Because they bring sadness, hatred, quarreling, fighting, divorce, and all whatnot. They deteriorate progressively. From childlessness, go to infidelity, you go to domestic violence. They are threefold. All of them, the thing that is causing it is a problem. The challenge that comes out of it is a problem. The consequence is a problem. You have childlessness, it can lead to what? Infidelity. Infidelity can lead to separation when they quarrel. You have infidelity, it can lead to financial problem and then quarreling, as the case may be. So the problem, you see problem number one, problem number two, problem number three. The cause is a problem, the challenge is a problem, the consequence is a problem. They are intertwined. Sometimes you can have many of these things together. You have to be able to separate them. They are linked together, they are related to each other, they may be difficult to isolate. I have a friend, he had health issues, he had financial problems. There's also sexual dissatisfaction. There's also infidelity problem. There's also children problem. And there's lack of all these things. They together for one person, one family. Different situations lead to different problems. The problems must come and they may last and degenerate if not properly managed. There are many factors responsible for conflict in the home. This includes yourself, the economic situation, external parties, nature, Satan, poor spiritual life, and so on. So many things are responsible for it. Generally speaking, Satan is responsible for the problem in marriage. However, our reaction will determine how long the problem will last and what extent it will generate to. Let's look at Job, his experience. We all know who is responsible for the problem of Job, the family. It's Satan. That's why we say generally speaking. So you must put that at the back of your mind when you are having issues with your wife, having issues with your husband, so that you have a mind of resolving it. Financial problem. The source of Job's income was destroyed. By who? Satan. Job 1:14 to 17. We know the story. All his cattle, they were stolen away. All his animals, they were stolen away. They were coming to give him report one after the other. And that is the source of his wealth. Financial problem are setting. Childlessness. His children were killed. One wind came, broke the pillars, and then fell on the children. You don't get children again. Health problem. Boil, sore all over, from the crown of the head, everywhere. What is that one? Health problem. Sexual dissatisfaction. Somebody will get all those things for body. His wife will fall and sleep. Boils all over. Consider his health condition and state of mind. When they talk to himself, they talk anyhow. You can't get time. Sit down for ground, put ashes for body. Which time you go sleep with the wife? Disagreement with the wife. Why not curse God and die? The woman don't tire. You are not useful. What do you want to do? Money you no get. Okay, touch me, self. You know if you touch me. Why not curse God and die? So Job had all this problem. Who caused it? Satan. All right. Effects of conflict in the home. This conflict can adversely affect couples. You affect the couples, you affect their children, their spiritual life, their social life, their job, and their psychological disposition. Then it affects the external party, those associated with them, the neighbors, the church, the friends, the extended family, colleagues at work. Now, we want to go into dealing with the problem, which is why we're having this discussion today. What do you do? Effective approach to conflict management and resolution in the home. How do you deal with it effectively? I've put down about 4 approaches. We are going to take them one by one. The first one is we treat according to peculiarity. Every problem is not the same. The solution for financial problem is not the solution for health problem, is it? It's not the solution for sexual dissatisfaction. Even financial problem, they have their differences. They are not all the same. So we say the solution to marriage problems are peculiar to their different nature or type. The solution for financial problem is different from that of infidelity and is different from that of domestic violence. Furthermore, experience has revealed that all financial problems do not have the same effect and solution. You handle them differently. Also, all problems of infidelity do not have some solution. They have the same solution. You must look closely at each problem to determine the solution based on its peculiarity. The brother came and was complaining. My wife is this, my wife is that. I said, that's not the problem. That's not the solution. He's tired. The wife even say, I don't want to do again. I said, that's not the problem. Let me tell you what the problem is. There's a solution. You are a stingy man. I said, brother. I said, since you marry your wife, when did you take her out to buy her, even if it's not for boss? Your own had to come, they cook soup, you cross leg. Even the money where you give, I know this. Since you marry and you don't buy am one cloth, you knew I was saying the truth. He started breathing. I said, I'm not saying you should take her to a fancy or an expensive restaurant. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that at the minimal level, take her to a small place once in a while. Laugh with her. That's what she wants. What happened? My laptop don't off. Okay, let me see. 1 second. So that was how we were able to resolve the problem. At the end of the day, two of them were able to get along. They are happy. And each time I will call, sister, how is it now? I say, he dey try. You get it. He dey try. Let me take the charger. Oh, don't worry. Let me take it from here. Go from there. So you must look at the peculiarity and deal with the problem. 1 second. Okay. We have, I said counseling as a solution is what you need in this particular approach. The person has to be able to look at the situation and appreciate it, and then to be able to give you advice. That is on the general basis. You must take some counseling. When there's a problem in the marriage, it is advisable to seek counseling for advice. You can approach your elder or the preacher of your congregation. Your preacher will do his best. If it's beyond his ability, he will call some elders and some leaders in the church, so to speak. I know some of the preachers don't like us using the word elders because it doesn't go with the scripture. But we have leaders who can assist, who are older people with experience, and they can advise. Now, let's look at general approach to dealing with conflict in the home. The charger. You can come and plug it here. Okay. The general, okay. Let's go to the general approach. Step number 1. We are taking step by step. And this general approach. If you are having issues, what do you do? I think I was able to help one of my... I didn't meet the person, no. I didn't meet that person. We only chatted. I don't even know how her voice looks like. And she told me she was having issues with her husband. I said, okay, this is what you do. Take this step. They will help you. And she did and came back and thanked me. She was happy. Step number 1. Develop a strong desire to resolve the problem. Some of us have gone past the problem. We say the marriage don't end. It will not work again. Remove that from your mind. Have a desire to resolve it. If you have that desire to resolve it, then you can make progress. This is not about who is right or wrong. The other side. It's not about who is right or wrong. It's about a strong desire to have a hope that gives you joy, peace of mind, and also gives your family the same. Do not focus on the problem. Focus on solving the problem. You want to solve the problem. So you must develop a strong desire to do so. Number 2, commit the problem to God in prayer. You want to start now that you have the desire to make it work. Commit it to God in prayer. There's nothing that God cannot do. God can touch the heart of anybody. God can change the situation, whatever it is that is causing it. Do not lean on your own understanding. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on thy own understanding. In all his ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. Allow God to take control. Cast all your cares upon him, for he careth for you. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. So you have to cast your cares on God. Let him take control. Step number 3, make effort to communicate effectively by asking leading questions. I want you to take note of that word, effectively. You have to communicate well so that God can take control. A British actress and screenwriter, Emma Thompson, says, any problem, big or small, within a family always seems to start with a bad communication. Sometimes someone isn't listening. Bad communication. It doesn't help. See, foolish man, foolish woman. Somebody saying why we behave like imbecile. How does that help the situation? How is that effective? You have to communicate in a manner that will help you. Make effort to communicate effectively by asking leading questions. Be bold and humble to ask your spouse the question, are you happy with this marriage? Look at him in the eye. Look at her. Are you happy with this marriage? Go further with humility to ask another question. Where did we get it wrong? Yet another question, how can we make it better? These are very 3 important questions. You can phrase them the way you want, but they should go in that direction. Believe me, it works. Step number 4, be friendly in your approach. You must not be intimidating. You should smile, laugh where as much as possible. You can buy gifts also. Sometimes some of these men, they use this gift as wayo, but they work like sham. One man where they beat his wife every time. If he beat her, you go buy gift for her. The last one, you buy tablet for her. Now I call him. I say, come. This is not the solution. Stop beating your wife. Stop beating your wife. So, but the point here is that the gift also, it helps to soften the mind. Step number 5, be honest in your response. Step number 6, be ready to make compromise. There are some things that may not go the way you expect, that you may not be happy about, but you must be ready to make some compromise. Listen, okay, I hear, I understand. Okay, I accept. Do you get it? It doesn't have to go your way. Drop your ego. Do not be defensive. Be open to suggestion and reasoning. Be ready to try suggestions from your partner. These are things that counselors do to couples when they sit down. All right? 7, make effort to apply feedback from the exercise. At the end of the day, you want to apply, the feedback that you got from that exercise, you want to put it into use. All right? What is missing here? Develop a strong desire. Okay, now I have effective approach to conflict management. Okay, this one has to be something is missing here. We want to look at the financial problem now. We have looked at it generally. I didn't see this one in my own. Overcoming financial challenges in the home by applying the general approach. We have looked at the general approach, but want to apply it to financial challenges now. Develop a strong desire to overcome that financial. You can make it. Life can be better. It's your state of mind. Commit the problem to God in prayer, which is what we said in step number 2. Communicate with your partner to discuss the solution. Ask leading questions. We have mentioned those leading questions that you ask, how you can make it better. Your wife can give you solution. Sometimes too, the wife can give bad solution. Somebody came to visit me. No, it's a tailor. He came to see me to help me to make clothes. And the man sat for 1 hour. I don't ask him anything. Started telling me his problem. Same wife tell him, say, make you go join a malanke. They made it they push a wheelbarrow because they're having financial problems. Don't tell your husband that kind of thing. Try to reason it out with him. See how you can do it better. Seek for advice from professionals on financial matters. You may need advice. Sometimes too, your wife may have a good idea. Sometimes you need to talk to somebody. Okay. Live within your income. Many of us do not live within our income, and that is the problem. We are using another person's situation to judge our own, to judge how, to determine how we live. Don't do that. Cut your coat according to your cloth. Uh-huh. Those days, they say cut your coat according to your size. They come to realize saying a problem. The cloth will not reach your size. As the in my what do they call it, CDA, they had a program. They can't send material to us, we could buy. Those material are for 4 years. The 4 years no go reach me. I dey do 5 years, 6 years. You know say I short. Now I can't tell my tailor say abeg add material. This one no go reach me. So, but if I look and say my money no reach, I go say do short sleeve for me instead of long sleeve. I mean no be so. I don't cut am according to my cloth. Get affordable accommodation. You sef want to follow wetin trend, wetin people dey do. No do pass yourself. When I was growing up, my father told me that Israel, if you are going to get an accommodation, don't take an accommodation that is more than your 3 months salary. And I held on to that thing. The one when I even go take now my 1 month salary. It was not the best place, but it made me to be able to save and do other things. There are so many bills to pay. So get affordable accommodation, food, clothes, school for the children and all that. So many other things. Adopt multiple streams of income, financial approach. This may require self-development. Multiple streams of income. These days, it's not even these days. Now for Nigeria, we try to learn those things. For abroad, people they do 3 jobs. I don't know be so. Now Tinubu won't begin to teach us now. Say we could do 3 jobs. I'm not saying you should do 3 jobs, but you can do some other things to support your income instead of complaining. Yesterday I hear say one man don't day with his wife 10 years, no work, no do anything. Now let the woman they carry the load. It should not be that. It shouldn't be that way. Yes, this may require self-development. Sometimes you go learn something. There are so many things on YouTube. Learn. I've been cutting my hair. See this hair, I'm cutting myself for the past 5 years. If I do this small day for here, I go tell my wife, I better come look this side. Let me go. Yes. They cut hair now, 1,000, 2,000, depending on the place. And the distance I will even go to cut my hair is a long distance. If I add the cost of fuel, you can imagine. Cut your coat according to your cloth. Yes. Share the experiences between you and your spouse. In today's economy, both couples should work together to share bills. Don't put pressure on your partner. Work together to share the bills. Don't use sentiment. We do a lot of things together. If you enter my compound now, it be like forest. For how many years now, we know they buy vegetable, plant vegetable everywhere. We cut and eat. So we do a lot of things together. So think of creative way to cut your costs. Change your approach to doing things. Get prepaid meter to reduce bill. What I did to reduce your bill. Get solar. People are getting solar, small solar. Instead of now, they don't even need to tell you. Wait for it be 1,050 naira. You go no say generator to maintain generator not be small thing. Think of creative ways to cut costs. Learn from social media on how to do some things yourself, such as cutting your hair, sewing clothes. My wife is so close, so even though she's a graduate, even though she works in the ministry, she do some things. All this to cut costs. So use what you have to generate extra income. You have space in your house, use it. So the men, do not keep girlfriend. They will drain your finances. Learn to give satisfactorily. Sacrificially. Yes, the Bible says we should give sacrificially. This is the spiritual side of it. God can bless you in many ways. He will bless you. Give to the church. Give to your preacher. Give to those in need. There is blessings in giving. Remember, you pray for God's intervention. So you need to do God's will as well. Work hard. Be patient. Be resilient. Pray for from the beginning and always. This last part, you can go through it. I'm not going to take it. But they are very important. Key elements to a successful conflict resolution. Patience It's important. The Bible passages are there. Desire to resolve problems. Passages are there. You must have that desire. I think I've emphasized that. Godliness, forgiveness, empathy, being considerate, sincerity, uh, truthfulness, love, contentment, faithfulness, respect, sexual fulfillment, maturity. All these things are elements that can help you to build your marriage. There's no time. There's a whole lot, each of these things here. I can take it and discuss it with you. You will see a whole new light about marriage when it comes to all these things. Most of the time we talk about love. Love is here. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 to 8. It will tell you what love means. Go to Ephesians chapter 5, from verse 21 down. It will tell you what love means. Some of us cannot love our wife the way Christ said we should love. He said you love your wife the way Christ loved the church and gave himself. Are you ready to die for your wife? Brother preacher, are you ready to die for your wife? You sure? So, you can go and look at all these things. Yes. In life, every family will at one time or the other experience some level of challenge. Having this in mind, we must manage these challenges in good faith and begin to take positive steps to overcome them. An American author and minister of Oak Hill Church of Christ, Max Lucado, said, "Conflict is inevitable, but combat is optional." I don't know whether you understand that. Conflict is inevitable. Combat. When the problem comes, what you do, that's what matters. You can avoid, yeah. If you are having any challenge in your home, do not give up. Start today to work on the problem and build a strong Christian home. Build a happy home. May our Father in heaven give us the wisdom, the resources, the strength, and the grace to build strong, happy Christian homes in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much for that, Israel. It's been so amazing this morning. I want to thank the leadership of the church and the evangelists for making. One of the problems that I personally think we have had over the years is the fact that whether we like it or not, we are a very conservative people. And being conservative, there are a whole lot of these root problems that we find it very difficult to, come out and speak up about. But I'm not going to recap because we don't have that time, especially for those that came late. However, I'm hoping that the question and answer session would help us sort of open up to a whole lot of other areas that our evangelists did not speak about. From these first two rows, if you have any questions, I mean, it's been explanatory enough, but some people may have one or two questions. Yes, we have one over there. I want to be sure of how many questions we have here. If there are no other hands, I'm going to lock it up there. We have one over there. All right, that's cool. How about this area? Do we have any questions? Okay, our daddy, we have one over there. All right, let's start from our brother there. Thank you. I'm also open to entertaining one or two written questions, just in case you're shy to speak about your marital problems.
Morning, brother. Morning. Thank you, Brother Israel, for your lesson this morning. I actually enjoyed it very well, and I'm going to ask this question because based on the realities that we have around us, whether in the secular world or even in the church as a spiritual whole, sometimes I hear people, or when I have conversation with some maybe colleagues or friends, they say they target irreconcilable differences. I don't know. So when I delve in, I found out that from the Bible we know that for separation to occur between couples, it happens in two ways, according to the scripture, either by death or by adultery, for which the other one has the option of what? Forgiveness. Now, for when even in the church, maybe two people are being counseled and the other one is hell bent on another, like they keep saying their their differences are irreconcilable, and when you get to find out, you may not even you will even wonder what are these so-called irreconcilable differences. It may just be as petty as it can be so petty, but the other party just don't want to, like he or she are shut down. You know, how can I mean? And of course, it's the whatever committee that has been set up is their job to make sure that these two couples come together. But one party has just decided to what shut the generator down. So how can that happen? Can the church eventually encourage them to go their separate ways? Or because it's just like forcing two people to be in a home. They will just be existing, but now they are just coexisting, but they are not living. Then secondly, the part where for the option of forgiveness if adultery has happened on either of both ends, and you find out that the other party has a very strong traditional background, saying they don't want the other party, like they don't want to have anything to do with their in-law, whether the male or the female. But the offended party has forgiven that other partner. Now the person who was offended is now in a fix between as a Christian and trying to listen to the family, where he or she comes from. What role can the church play? Because these are sensitive real life issues that we have here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. For the first one, I want to say that not every problem will be resolved. Yes, from my experience, in some cases, when you are discussing with the parties, they may hold back some things. They may hold back some information and not tell you. Because they know if they say it, it will lead to disfellowship. So they may not tell you. I'll give you an example. A brother came complaining about the wife that doesn't want to marry again. At the end of the day, we recently discovered that he had impregnated another person. That's why he was being rigid. You get it. In some cases, you have people who are rigid. You get it. But I want to say that, generally speaking, most of the time when people say the case is irreconcilable, it's not true. I've had a number of cases where the sisters will call me, say, brother, I'm tired. I'm tired. I think in the course of my teaching, I said the preacher told me he has already gone to the council. He wants to file for divorce. But at the end of the day, the matter came easily. I would say easily, but it's not also easy. For a minister, you need spiritual backing. If you are handling this kind of case or cases, you must be prayerful. Some cases, in fact, most cases, it takes the grace of God to resolve it. I must be honest with you, I've had 2 cases where I thought that thing will not work. I've left it to faith. But at the end of the day, they came back together. I didn't stop. I continued to counsel them. The woman will call me. Hey, brother, he said, won't settle the problem. Go now, my family talk, say. What do you want to make I do? My children. Oh, my children. Go meet your husband now. I won't blame her. God has a way of designing things. The husband was a little bit violent by mouth and also hand. And there were a lot of accusations. And she wanted the husband to see reasons, but she did not want to leave the marriage. At the end of the day, they settled. So, if you put it in prayers, make effort, you say the right things, you can help. If you see the right problem, you know what the problem is, you can help. You get it. But the truth is that there are some that will not work because the person is not being truthful. He's holding back some information, which you will discover later. And that's the reason why it will not work. Like I said, you have to have a mindset to resolve the problem. If you don't have that mindset, you cannot resolve the problem. If you are not truthful, you are not sincere, you cannot resolve the problem. So that's where the challenge is. Not all problems will be resolved. When you have all those things in between, it will not be resolved. But if these two people sincerely want the marriage to work, even if they are tired, with your effort, with your guidance, that marriage will work. They will come back, no matter how low the thing has come. In my experience, that's what I've seen. The other one, who comes to tell you that his tradition says this, that person is not a Christian. Why will you be saying that? When you gave your life to God to be a part of the church, you will know that you put all those things behind. The instruction in the scripture comes first, not tradition. So what you do, advise the person, if he's not listening, you might have to disfellowship that person. That is the solution.
Yes. Yes. Hold on.
Please tell us the meaning of infidelity. The other day somebody said in Kenya church is a grammar church.
It's a
Grammar. People, yes, grammar.
okay.
They really speak very well. Listen, but not everybody here went to university or even finished secondary school. So please, you will tell us the meaning of
infidelity. Okay.
finish. So another thing that I want to encourage people to do is don't love your children. Don't think you love your children more than your husband, better than your husband, or you love your children better than your wife. You cannot even love your children as well as their mother. The person that carried them in her belly for 9 months, gave birth to them, and carried them on her lap and fed them with her breast. So we the men should understand why women cling so much to their children and the children cling so much to them. You can see where I live with me. If something happens to someone, we say, ELA, that's my mother. If my next we all shout our father. Even Italians say Mamma Mia. So we know we have to respect the women because they go through a lot in their life to have these children. That's notwithstanding. The women have a role to play. I've met a man who told me he lost his wife because if he says this child is stubborn, and the wife sees that that child is stubborn, any punishment, he will say, he won't eat in the house today. The mother will not give him or him food to eat. But not all women can do it. Then the man will say, hey, we're going to pay to gain this child. He said, you want to gain him? After that, when he's sick, that may go to the family. We the women should cooperate with their husbands. It is God knows a man cannot go conceive to get a child, but a woman cannot impregnate herself to get a child. That's why we are two. And these two have to work together. There are certain things some women do. When the husband do something bad, they quickly say it. But when they do something good, they will not appreciate it or fully appreciate it. My husband, thank you very much for this. However little. And once, I want to say this, I don't want to praise myself. Got married 1966, 58 years ago. I've never raised my finger on my wife. She's here. Okay. Not that she has never annoyed me. I remember her saying, if you touch me, I have my own hands. You see? So you see, I still enjoyed it. And when she went to a wedding party, and they said, any woman who has not been beaten by her husband should raise her hand. She did not raise her hand. She came home, guilty conscience made her say, see what I did to you. They said, anyone where your husband never did before, maybe raise her hand. He don't raise her hand. Okay, let me tell you, that message is not good for the couple. The girl will say, it's okay, I'm going to get married. So every man beats his wife, so that's why we're beating you. Then the man will say, everybody there, all these people have gone married, beat their wives. So I can also do so. So please, it is, I don't want to take more time. It said, you people, both the men and the women. One of my friends told me that his wife is so good in supporting him that if was carrying a child and the child will run to the mother will pick her own cake and beat her. So he said one day he may beat his wife the second. So you see, that should be cooperation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Daddy. That is a word of experience that our daddy has given us there. Yes, it's not easy to be married for that long and you've not raised your hand on your wife. And the experience is started by talking about patience before you get married. A lot of our men are not patient. It's not only men, both women. If you are going to go into marriage, you must learn to be patient. One of the elements of love, if you claim to love your husband, your spouse, your husband to be, your wife to be, there must be patience, endurance. Go to that book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 4 to 8. You will see their patience. That's why I said people understand the elements of love. Talking about infidelity, I see some people say it's better. Now, grammar people, now be grammar people. Now be grammar people. Now be grammar people now. If they for local place, somebody for not speak Yoruba. Okay, infidelity, simply put, a man wey don marry wife for the house go dey sleep with another woman, or a woman wey dey married go dey sleep with another man wey no be husband, na him be wetin infidelity. That's what they say. If United States, they talk to Igbo people like for the simple one, na him be that. Daddy, thank you for all your comments. I believe you're taking something from what he has said. He has been patient and it has helped him in his marriage. Patient is very thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother. We wanna. Hello. We want to especially thank Israel from the Church of Christ, Ebute Ikorodu, for a topic well thought. And I'm hoping that we all have been able to properly digest this morning's teaching, and we would not just be hearers, but we would also apply these teachings in our homes and our day-to-day lives. Without much to be said at this point in time, we would call the song leader to give us a song while we invite Brother Cosmos for the announcement.
Well, we are going to close our session by singing from Matthew 597.